Welcome to today's channel. Israel ready to pause Gaza fight in exchange for Hamas hostages. Day 74 of war and sirens are still sounding in Tel Aviv. Hamas rockets can still threaten the city's pristine towers kept safe by the Iron Dome. Israel's leader Benjamin Netanyahu has been clear the war won't stop until Hamas is obliterated, so the sight of Israelis still running for cover shows that mission is far from complete, but at the same time, international patience for scenes like these is running out. Palestinians yet again digging out their loved ones with their bare hands as children watch on from their destroyed homes. Pink and post-it notes. Unfulfilled tasks now meaningless when your only job is hour by hour survival. Over 20 people were killed in these homes in Rafah. Many had fled to this southern city for safety. These buildings have people from Gaza City and the north from all areas staying here as it's a safe place, but there is no safety. The Israelis hit every place they targeted everywhere. Israel say they carried down a targeted operation that took out a Hamas financier. Muhammad was pulled from the rubble. He survived his children. 2-year-old Amd and his baby sister did not. Their grandmother had this message for Netanyahu. Does he think that by killing these children he'll achieve something? Have they succeeded? Now, has he achieved what he wants? No, he hasn't achieved what he wants. While within Israel, Netanyahu's government stands accused of not achieving the release of hostages. Protesters continue to camp outside the military headquarters demanding more. Is music done? ISA just got a glimpse of her 80-year-old father-in-law in a Hamas video. This one, it wasn't joy for a moment to see them alive, to see them okay sitting talking, but they lost weight, and they seem to be weak. About 120 hostages are still thought to be in captivity. Tonight, the UN Security Council is due to vote on a new ceasefire resolution. It's already been delayed. Each word is being fought over. Cessation of hostilities could now be replaced with suspension to get the US on board. A pause in fighting would allow much-needed aid into Gaza and a night's sleep without the fear of death. We're joining me now as Aaron David Miller, former U.S. Middle East negotiator at the State Department, who's a senior fellow at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. Aaron, it's good to speak to you again. We're just getting word now from Tel Aviv that the Israeli government is really keen on a deal, to have more hostages released in return for prisoners. Is that what's also defining the timing that they want this deal before some kind of resolution is imposed on them, including by their friends the Americans? I think it's more a question of pressure from the hostages' families, even if the United States abstains or votes for an Security Council resolution. I doubt frankly whether that would change the battlefield dynamic, and that's what's driving this. The Israelis are determined to continue their campaign to destroy Hamas's military infrastructure above and below ground and fill its senior leaders right. Hamas is holding on the hostages, playing for time and an effort to obtain a permanent cessation of hostilities, and be able to declare victory. That dynamic has not changed. Maybe there's a possibility of additional humanitarian POS, which would be extraordinarily important for the suffering that the people of Gaza have been subjected to, but I don't see any permanent cessation, and I don't believe that Security Council resolution is going to fundamentally alter that battlefield dynamic right now, right? But are you saying that the hostage families in Israel have more leverage over their government than the United States, despite all its support? I think that's actually, it shouldn't come as a surprise. Particularly for the hostages. Families of hostages have not been released. Every day that the Israeli military campaign Hamas's confrontation with Israel continues is a day that those hostages, who have been taken by Hamas, is a greater risk. You've seen that over the course of the last several weeks. So yeah, I think it's quite natural that a government's own citizens are going to have more influence over its actions than a chief ally, right? So, but that chief ally is providing Israel with a lot of military and financial, and of course moral and political support. Do the Americans really have as little leverage over the Israelis as now appears to be the case? I think the answer to that is no. The United States has tremendous leverage. They're not using it in large part because I think from President Biden's calculation he's looking for an outcome that frankly ends Hamas's sovereignty in Gaza. And I think that the president shares Israel's objectives here. There's been a departure obviously in terms of the tactics, and I think you may well see in January a fundamental change in Israel's operational tempo in Gaza, a lower level campaign, more targeted, more intelligence driven, which would allow permanent predictable humanitarian coups to be established so that agencies than others could reliably without fear for their own lives surge humanitarian assistance into Gaza. That's the objective, but right now, let's be clear, without a quid pro quo for a permanent cessation of hostilities, either return of all of the hostages on Hamas's part or demilitarization, it seems to me, the US is not going to apply significant pressure. I wish we had more time, but I just want to turn your attention to that To the streets leading into the Red Sea, how dangerous is the Houthi attacks on international shipping, and the fact that those ships have now been diverted including by companies like B. How dangerous is it for the world economy, and also in terms of this conflict spreading its vary because you're not talking about a minor sort of Scrabble militia here, you're talking about what may be Iran's southern Ola and the Houthi is controlling Sana'a and a third of the most part of Yemen may also get to control resources. It may well be that what we're watching is Iranian and Houthi leverage over the Bab el-Mandeb Straits and traffic in the Red Sea. If that should occur, you're talking about a disruption of anywhere from 10 to 15% of global traffic through the Red Sea through Suez Canal, which would force a delay of weeks having to go around the Cape of Good Hope. So I think this is a problem now, but it's become a much greater problem later, and we'll be talking to you about it at some stage in the future. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.